at this level, what makes most impact? Well, not the frames you dominate, but the frames you steal. What makes most impact? Well, not the frames you dominate, but the frames you steal. If Alan could possibly pull this out of the fire, which is still very much a long shot, but if he could do so, that could mould the entire contest.
Yeah, there was a similar frame in his semi-final against Ronnie O'Sullivan. The second frame was vital. Very early on in the match, that proved to be a pivotal moment, really. He stole the second frame and then just seemed to grow in strength. Okay, he didn't need a snooker in that frame, but still made a glorious clearance. Some good snookering balls on this table.
16.
Look at the baulk colours where they're positioned. There's big targets there.
Mark Allen, 16.
Luca Bercel, professional for 13 years. He won't be panicking, but he will be a little concerned because when he dropped out of position, it was really lax, actually. The frame should have been done and dusted 5 minutes ago.
Now, Mark Allen possibly looking to send this red twice across the table, try and get it in behind the black cue ball up behind green or brown. A little bit of right-hand side. Oh, he's just caught the black, so not been able to control the object ball. How's the cue ball? Well, this is a really good chance now for Mark to lay a snooker. Try and send the red back down the table. Cue ball in behind the brown. Well, decided to not try and be too clever there and get too much distance. It's a straightforward swerve this for Luca.
So just a reminder, 39 points the difference, 35 on the table. That means if Mark Allen can get one successful snooker, which yields 4 penalty points, and if he can pop the last red with the black in all the colours, it would then be a re-spotted black, the first, I believe, of the tournament. Now this one's a little interesting. There is a reasonable size gap though between black and top cushion.
Oh, he's played this very well. Ideally would have liked that cue ball to travel another inch to the left. That way it would have cut off this right side of the cushion for Luca. I'm sure he can... Well, can he? Has he nestled onto the black? If he has, that's a very, very tough shot. If he's got no access to that right side cushion, he's in big trouble here.
Yeah, the one downside for Alan, the pink going really safe, but the main objective has been achieved. So there are the 4 penalty points. He doesn't want...
Mark Allen.
to see this go all the way. This is a frame that should have been in Brecel's pocket already. No ifs, buts or maybes. Isn't it often the way, after all that toil, it could have been undone by one shot? But Bercel can't put the lid on this.
Put your mobile phones on silent, please.
Yeah, phone just rang on his backswing there, Luca, just as he was coming through to deliver. Not enough time to get up off the shot there and reset. So Mark Allen this time now available to pop the red and play on the black. So he needs a good pot here. Bit of pace required to get up for the yellow. Doesn't want to risk missing the pot though. Yeah, good shot. Well, the obvious problem ball now is that pink welded to that side cushion. Will that be Luca's saviour?
Mark Allen, 8.
It's been a very nervy frame for both players, and you can fully understand why. So much at stake. It's all a little uncomfortable for Luca Bercel at the moment. No getting away from the fact that one very poor red with a rest has caused all of this angst. That's why, Stephen, when you knock in frame ball, your mindset should be, I need at least 2 or 3 more.
Yeah, I think as a professional player, you never see actual frame ball as frame ball. It's always the one after the next colour, that extra red, because this is what happens. How often do we see this? Luca played such a below par shot to pot the red and not land on the black.
2.
And we know Mark Allen's tenacity.
Mark Allen.
It doesn't matter, though, how tenacious you are. It all comes down to one thing: you've got to knock them in. Bercel will be very relieved to see the back of this green, to see the back of this frame. That almost missed.
Yeah, I think his heart may have been in his mouth there, Luca, when he struck that. Only the pace, gravity taking over. But finally he's got the job done. Probably 10-15 minutes longer than it should have taken, but he's going to be 1-0 up.
It was scrappy, no sizable contributions. It lasted half an hour, but Luca Bercel has no complaints because he leads by 1 frame to 0.
Sign up at thezone.com/NLTV.
The Zone is the home of boxing. With over 150 live fights a year. And you can relive history by watching the biggest fights at any time.
What a shot straight down the pipe!
Just head to thezone.com and go to previous events to catch up on all the action from the biggest nights in boxing.
To the big occasion.
It's the final weeks of the regular season.
Catch made by George Kittle. Touchdown!
Here they come. Oh, what a strike!
A big step forward to the knockouts.
Fury Usyk Part 2. Both men saying this one will not go to 12 rounds.
It will be my time this time.
Lift of inch Ronaldo!
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point you make, Phil, because, as you say, this event doesn't carry ranking points, so that prize money that is coming off Luca's ranking is ultimately going to plummet him down the ranking, so he could really have done with this prize money going on. But I think the point you make about the confidence that he may take from it is key, because I really do believe he will take a lot. The fact that he's competed well this week and played some really good stuff. Just sort of reasserts himself in his own mind that he belongs at the top of the game, playing against the best players in the world, beating the best players in the world.
Yeah, individually, his last 3 finals have all been invitation tournaments. Twice here, of course. He was runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan last season, and also last season made the final of the Shanghai Masters.
Well, he took a moment or two there to figure out what best to do there, Mark Allen. Caught it much too thick. And worse yet, the red careering through the pack of reds has just held the cue ball up down this end of the table, so possibly a big mistake. Luca's not got an easy opener. This red to right middle is quite thin, tricky. But if he can negotiate this and find position on his colour, it'd be a good chance. Oh, look where this cue ball's come to rest.
Well, the impact of a cue ball being behind a ball colour is lessened if the pack are pretty much intact. That's not the case here.
He's got that as a potential route, but it's absolutely fraught with danger, Mark Allen. There's not many areas of refuge on this table because the balls have been quite spread early on. All about line, all about pace, this shot. Well, he's got neither. The line wasn't too bad, but the pace, no good.
Maybe he could do what Brecel did in the 4th frame against Mark Williams this afternoon. He was behind a ball colour, just got down, had a wild swipe, in went to red, the cue ball went all around the table.
Okay.
Several kisses later, he was perfect on the black and he made a 59 break. That was the turning point in the whole contest.
Fine. And this... Look at yourself for.
He's erring on the side of caution here, Mark Allen, and I don't blame him because he needs to get the pace of this just right. He wants to literally tickle up behind that red just above the black. He's spent a couple of shots just working out the line, and he's not far away. It's just shy of a little bit of pace. Again, that's way too short.
Oh, miss. Look at yourself. Oh, a miss. Luca Bercel 7.
Four consecutive misses, amounting to 19 points given away, and still not out of the predicament. Brecel did not intend the second rub off the red. Approaching the 8-minute mark in the frame, a ball yet to be potted.
Often the first couple of frames of a match set the tone for the whole game, and it's looking like it'll be a very cagey one, this, between both players. Oh, and that's a big mistake from Mark Allen. Big mistake from Mark Allen. But worse yet, there's a red up by the yellow that will pop to middle. Catches the secondary red and finds the corner pocket, so that little stalemate may have just been broken.
Right.
After gaining 23 in penalties, now Bercel can get the scoreboard rattling along with a break. Normally when you get into the mid-70s in front, that's frame secure, but when you've had a lot of penalty points early on in a frame, you need more than that.
7. We'll see.
Seemed to thump that
22.
one, but it didn't quite make the trek.
Yeah, he just needs to nip into this red now and just try and control this cue or kill the pace off the red. He'll be digging low. No, he's played it well.
23.
In his last couple of matches, these ball colours have been very friendly.
$26. Luca, Bercel.
Always a tough shot when the cue ball is glued to the cushion.
Yeah, and what a difference that made. If that cue ball wasn't on that cushion, he's away and running again. But he hasn't left anything for Mark Allen, which is another small piece of fortune. Luca just needs to be mindful of that red, loose red on the right side in playing back to ball. He needs to avoid the red near the top cushion and the way back. So he's choosing to go the thicker route, swinging it round, and that made that shot more risky. Brought the jaws of that corner pocket into play. Trying to play the figure of S safety shot back to ball.
Allen stretching. Now that deserved the applause. Incorrect side of the blue. I think it's important for Mark Allen to play with freedom. That's what's got him here. It's always a fine dividing line between being too cautious
7.
or being a little too attacking, but he's got to find that balance. I think that's really important for him.
Yeah, and he's also just got to find his way in this match.
8.
You know, try and get a frame on the board as quickly as possible, settle himself down, just reassert himself, find his focus. He's played so well in his previous 2 matches, Mark Allen. As I say, he's 4 semi-finals this season. This is the first final for him. It feels like he's been close to finding some really, really good form and just not quite finding it at the latter stages. Yeah, nicely controlled little cannon there, and he's absolutely A1 here on this black. should he wish to play a cannon into that club. If he can go into the pink and red, he'll be on the red to right corner. Well, he chose against it. He will still need to get those reds open at some point. It felt like a good opportunity to do that there.
$22. $27. $28.
In terms of cue ball control, these two are contrasting.
34.
Bercel is more adventurous when he's building a break. Generally speaking, Mark Allen, more precise.
$36.
Now, it'll be interesting to see how Mark goes about this. There's two reds just above the pink that may be close to a plant to this left corner. There you see, that can be made. That may be the reason why he chose against going into the reds a few moments ago. Yeah, so he's going to take this plant. He can play this in such a way that the angle he's going to hit the first red, he's going to be going up for the blue. Could even play up for baulk colour.
What a bonus. Getting the red out as well. Everything's there for him now. Everything.
It was such a clever shot. The previous black to leave himself intentionally low on that plant, knowing full well that he had the option there to bring that loose red off the cushion. Sorry, that tight red off the cushion.
49. $50. $55.
The first break of any substance in the final, but there's still clearly work to be done.
Yeah, it is. Just looking here, Mark, if he can pop this red and just glance off the red above the pink and just push that into a pottable position. He may have to pop this into the left side of the pocket if he plays that as he looks at it, the right side as we look. And that just adds an element of uncertainty to the shot. You don't really want to be trying to pinch any of these pockets.
$56.
Yeah, left himself the angle on the black to play it from there. So nicely played. Just needs to be mindful of this one final
64.
positional shot. Slightly hampered over the pink. Should be no issues. Just drop the red in. He'll be on the black.
64.
He's taken these really well.
And this is exactly the sort of contribution that Mark Allen was desperate for, just to
71.
kickstart this final. It's been a great clearance.
72.
Now a real chance of winning his first frame of the final with a ton.
$77. $79. $82.
Allen finished off his semi-final win over Ronnie O'Sullivan with a break of 134.
$86.
So blue, pink and black for another three-figure contribution.
91. $97.
Simply excellent from Mark Allen. A great way to equalise in the final of the Riyadh Season Snooker Championship. It's 1-1.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 100
Again, look at that safety shot. We see that a lot more these days because the pack of reds seem to open far and wide. These cloths so responsive. Neither player, or not many players in the game now, choose to risk that aggressive safety shot. Try and catch the thin edge of the pack using side spin to try and accelerate the cue ball off the cushion, get back to baulk with minimal damage done to the reds.
Alan thirsting for opportunities because he knows if he gets them, the way he's been playing of late, he will take full advantage. Got to the semi-finals of the Scottish Open in Edinburgh last week, and in 2 best-of-7 frame matches, one against Ryan Day, the other against Noppon Sankam, on the way to those semi-finals, he made 3 centuries. Now, making 3 centuries in a best-of-7 takes some doing. He did it twice in pretty quick succession. Of course, the tournament ended in big disappointment. He was 5-2 up on Lei Pei Fan, the eventual winner. Lost 6-5. But triumphing here, Stephen, would more than make up for that little collapse.
Yes, certainly. But it was a surprising result, that, wasn't it? The loss to Lei Pei Fan, having been so far in front. You just thought that the experience of Mark Allen would tell there, and that the young lad from China, Lei Pei Fan, back on the tour for the first time. He may have just crumbled, but he didn't. Went on to win the title. Incredibly massive achievement for him.
It's touching.
Yes, we've had 50 years of world ranking events. The first one was the 1974 World Championship, and I think Lei Pei Fan has to be regarded certainly in the top 10 of most surprising ranking event winners. But he did it the hard way, beating a whole succession of really good players.
I think Mark has just asked Luca, was you trying to move it? As he played safe there, trying to just maybe lift that golden ball off the cushion. No red spotted yet, still black in open play. Let's not forget that 167 still up for grab. That would be, well, that would be something, wouldn't it, to win the tournament and nick the 167 in the final.
Yeah, right now, for these two, their focus of attention is just winning the match. Of course, if they get the chance, they would love to be able to create history and what would be one of the sport's most enduring moments.
Well, there's been pretty much 5 minutes of solid safety exchanges here, and the Reds really haven't moved all that far. Pretty granite tight stuff, this, from both.
Yeah, similar to the previous frame where I think it was 9 minutes before the deadlock was broken. These exchanges are the byproduct of two things as Alan gets away with that one. First off, the prize money up for grabs. Huge. Secondly, it's a byproduct of mutual respect. Luca Bercel, the world number 8. Mark Allen, the world number 4. Earlier this year, Allen was briefly at the top of the rankings. They are elite players. That was all askew.
Yeah, you can always tell with Luca when he's mishit one, he sort of just wafts his cue up in the air. He's up very quickly. It was a mistake. But it's only a big mistake if then the next player, the opponent, actually gets in. Now, what can Mark do here?
Six. Seven. Oopsie. $15.
Alan recognised for his cue ball control.
20.
Over the last few years, there have been certain matches where he's really been on the grind, and when he plays a little slowly, when the exchanges become staccato, I think that's when his cue ball control diminishes. But when he's flowing, as he has been in this tournament, it's always seemingly on point.
He was very close to landing on a red right through that gap of reds there, which would have been nice because it would have opened up another one at least. Not to be. Landed on the one he actually played on. Needs that cue ball to run.
21.
Well, he's got just a smidge of angle. There's a red that will... Well, there isn't. So it's... Is he looking at the possibility of a plant? Or is he going into them? It's into them. No, he's played it okay. Is he on one? Yeah, he's okay. He's slightly hampered.
26.
He's not out of the woods just yet.
The pink will go, but cutting back into a semi-blind pocket, not easy. So far, one of those matches, Stephen, where nothing's coming easy.
Yeah, that's what the occasion can do to any player, really. You know, it's such a big match, as we keep saying. But sometimes the balls do dictate. But no doubt there'll be a little bit of tension in the arms of both players. You expect as the match goes on, though, that they'll both ease up. Looks like a classic case of wanting to win so badly,
Mark Allen,
possibly
4.
trying not to lose, which can sometimes be a detriment to a player. It's important to try and stay positive, try and win the match rather than try not to lose it. You often find that that thought process dictates a shot selection, and all of a sudden things can spiral out of control. You end up chasing, getting very stressed. But of course, these are two of the best in the business. They know full well how to win tournaments.
Bercel, all business, no flamboyance. Again, in keeping with the prize at the end of it. Yes, Brecel is guaranteed £125,000, but he wants the jackpot.
You always see a lot of talk about these big prizes, don't you? And, you know, this event is only a 3-day tournament, sort of an in and out job. And, I mean, no end of people that whoever wins this tournament, they'll say, you know, 250 grand, not bad for 3 days' work. It's not 3 days' work, is it? It's a lifetime's work.
Yeah, exactly.
What a lot of people don't see is the hard yards, the work that the players put in the shadows. You know, the hard moments throughout a player's career. We've all been there, you know, when you're really sort of down in the dumps at times, because inevitably only one person is coming away from every tournament as the winner. Usually on the tour, 128 players start out, 127 are leaving disappointed, and that's the harsh reality of professional snooker. Oh, and he's had an absolute explosion.
Make sure your
there.
phones are on silent, please.
I've not seen a kick that big for a long time. Watch this cue ball off the red.
Stopped in its tracks. We can't say his use of a particular brand of chalk has caused that kick, but it's increased the likelihood, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll just say it how it is. The chalk caused that kick. There's no doubt about it. But as you say, it's his choice to continue to use it, and, you know, every credit to that decision. He's his own man, he's his own player, he can do what he wants. But that's the reason so many choose against it.
And there I was being diplomatic.
There's no time for that here, Phil.
Eight.
Now that was a really good pot because we saw the entrance into the pocket from that angle was tight. And this lead for Mark Allen is very healthy considering where most of the remaining reds are.
15.
And with two of them in the open, he can do enough at this visit to move in front.
Yeah, it feels like a big frame coming up. Should Mark Allen take this one out and take the 2-1 lead? One more frame to come before a 15-minute mid-session interval. He'll be looking to try and extend, take a big advantage
20.
going into that final session. Because the way things are going, you know, it looks like this one could go really close. That 2-frame gap, should he make it, could be quite a telling one.
23.
Well, that was frame ball. In goes the green. 63 in front, 51 on.
27.
So 3 snookers needed. If this red goes in, there's no way Bercel will come back.
28.
He was the favourite for this match before a ball
30.
was spotted. And Mark Allen is looking the better of the two right now, even though it's still early days.
36.
What a shot that was. What an attempt at least. To equalise, Mark Allen made a century break. To go in front, he played a really solid frame involving breaks of 33 and 43. 2-1 Allen. timing-wise, it's been quite a slow start to the final of the Riyadh Season Snooker Championship. Frames of 30, 22 and 24 minutes so far. Mark Allen has looked the better player. The highlight of the final thus far, his 104 clearance in the second frame. His pot success rate at 92, that is more than acceptable. 85 though, Stephen, is not.
No, and that's a figure that Luca's going to have to improve on if he's got any chance of winning this final tonight. Look at the highest break, 27. That obviously needs to drastically improve as well, but there's still time. Remember, best of 9 match now, not the best of 7 that we've played all week, so a little bit of wiggle room.
Yes, and so often in these best of 9 frame matches, which, by the way, a decade or so ago, and going back further than that, used to be the staple diet of the circuit. In these best of 9s, often winning the frame before the interval has a really big influence on the final outcome. Bercel has taken leave of the arena for a moment. As for Mark Allen, well, his career has been good for a while. He won his first world ranking title in 2012 at the World Open. He's a double Players' Championship winner. He's won 11 world ranking titles in total, including the 2022 UK Championship. Last year, won the World Grand Prix and the shootout. But winning this after being so close on many occasions in the first half of this season.
Thank you.
Winning this would be the perfect way to bid farewell to 2024.
Mark Allen to deck. Take your seats, please.
I'll tell you what Mark Allen would love to do, replicate the quality of his performance when he met Brecel in the first round of the Masters in 2018. Outstanding that day, made breaks of 135, 120. Really did look the business. But one has to say that twice they've played late in tournaments, Bercel has won them both. I talked about his semi-final win here last season. He also beat Allen 6-2 in the semi-final of the English Open in 2022. So both can take positives from their previous meetings.
Well, he had a little look at these reds at the back of this main cluster, the 3 that are sort of close to set to a plant to this right corner. He obviously felt that that is not available. Chose to leave Luca purposefully down this side. So Luca may be playing the figure of S safety, trying to swing the cue all round in behind the green. That's what he's tried.
Thank you.
Mark Allen, for all of his scoring prowess, won't mind if it goes tactical.
Fine.
Or should we say, if it stays tactical, because the start of pretty much every frame has been quite defensive.
Took a calculated risk himself there, Mark Allen, rather than letting Luca back in or having the cue ball replaced. He felt that had he have done that and Luca had played that shot, he would have been in trouble, so took the initiative upon himself to try and play the shot, and he's played it well.
Mark Allen.
Well, another exceptional shot if he was playing billiards. In the world of billiards at the highest level, there's a gentleman called David Corsier who won every single tournament he entered this year, so congratulations to him. Corsier would be proud of that enough. That would gain him 3 points.
And again, Mark Allen with the definite advantage in this safety exchange. No, is Luca going for this, trying to screw back to Bork? He is. Oh, it's a great attempt. Good cue ball. And he's played it well. That's a really good shot from Luca. If you get close to the pot with this type of shot, you'd be unlucky for the red to come up the table. The fact it caught the jaws and rattled. It was all about the cue ball then, and he's got a good one.
Mark Allen there doing what Kyron Wilson did, doing what Mark Williams did, cleaning the table of the chalk that's accumulating, the chalk marks. Impasse broken rather luckily. Not quite the level of fluke that turned the match against Mark Williams, but useful nevertheless.
Yeah, and certainly not the time you want to see your opponent having flukes. This is serious business this evening. We know just how fine the margins are at top level sport, particularly at snooker. the slight roll of a ball, the odd little flick here and there can make such a massive difference at this level.
So what we can say definitively is that another frame has gone where the golden ball has departed. Chances now dwindling for a 167.
We're running out of time. Now an anxious glare from Luca. Has he left the gap through the reds to get to this red nearest the left corner? No. He was very close to doing that. Now it's Mark Allen's problem to try and cover that red.
This is the 58th frame of this tournament. In terms of the 167, the 147 plus the golden ball, we've had 3 or 4 realistic chances. Jangander had an opportunity twice in the same match. Mark Allen, after an outrageous fluke, he might have done it also, but missed a very simple routine black off its spot. But as the title and the prospect of lifting the trophy grows ever closer, big breaks become less likely. That's just the way of it.
Camera angle is so deceiving, really. There was an awful lot of distance between those reds. Look at that. Had to be made. Okay, he only had to pop the first red and that would hit the second red into the back of the pocket. But you've got to be so accurate with that type of shot. He plays it so well. Still not a clear-cut chance this for Mark Allen. Black and pink well and truly out of commission. Oh, he's taking a chance here and he's played a good shot. Yeah, he's been very unlucky there, Mark. You can see the reaction because he's played a really good shot, trying to make something happen, trying to get the black back into play, knowing he was always going to be on this red.
Set.
All business, Mark Allen, and who could possibly blame him? Just playing measured, sensible, match play snooker.
Mark Allen, 12.
Yeah, and he's visibly disappointed with that safety shot. He was under no pressure at all there to get that cue ball to the baulk cushion. Catching the green was a big mistake, because that now hands initiative back to Luca to try and find that area in behind the green.
Now, he's missed a few of these already. Yeah. The recurring theme. Overcutting them. I thought he'd had another cheeky fluke. But he's been overcutting these kind of balls in this match. And that misjudgment, Stephen, could be quite costly.
Yeah, because the pink is now in open play and available into at least 2 pockets once it goes back on its own spot. The right corner, left middle. But Mark will be eager to try and remove that red just below and to the left of the pink spot as soon as possible. That will just free it up into all 4 pockets. And that's the red he's played on straight away.
Seven. Eight.
This now a really good chance for Mark to take himself into the interval with a comfortable advantage in this final. He's really grafting for it out there, isn't he? You can just see the determination in his face. He's not willing to push the boat out at all. As you say, Phil, it's hard match snooker, this.
15.
It's a real test for Luca as well to come through a match like this.
Alan keeping the red over the yellow pocket for what they would call a rainy day. But you don't get many of those in Riyadh. The weather this week has been impeccable. Perfect temperature, clear blue skies.
21.
And for Mark Allen here, a clear road to a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of beginners and amateur players looking at this table and thinking, well, why has he not potted that red over the pocket yet? Because that's the easiest ball to pot. And the reason for that is Mark Allen is basically just giving himself 2 chances every time he plays on a red ball now. He'll try and clear the more difficult reds down this end, and should he fall out of position, of which he probably won't because he's so good with his cue ball control, he'll always have that red over the pocket as a bit of insurance. But it's very hard to see how he makes a mistake from here in amongst the business end of the table.
29.
The red just below the 2 closest to the black will pass to left corner as well, so yeah, he's edging closer here. Just needs to steady himself and see this one out.
36. Sure. 42.
Mark Allen's lead has been padded to 57. So a handful of pots from here, and he'll march into the interval with a very useful lead.
Thank you. 43.
Highest break for Luca Brecel remains 27. Mark Allen's had the 4 highest breaks of the match. And now, the fail-safe ball.
14.
It's going to be frame ball. So, Stephen, the way he's gone about this break has been absolutely logical.
Very workmanlike, hasn't it? You know, he's here to do a job tonight, and that's it. Doesn't need to be any heroics, no fireworks. It doesn't matter how you get over the line. It's a big night of snooker tonight, and Mark Allen has got the advantage. 3-1 at the interval. Plenty for Luca Brecel to think about. Stew on.
55.
Just wonder if either player will hit the practice table and who will get on there, because there's only one in here. Will they play alternative shots for a bit?
One player at one end, one at the other. That won't happen. Every credit to Mark Allen. He lost a scrappy opening frame that lasted 30 minutes. Since then, though, he's been in charge.
70.
Few doubles, several plants. Exuding class.
77.
And now the opportunity for a second century.
Yeah, and the way the match has gone, you would never have imagined that the score sheet could potentially have 2 century breaks on it. They've been very, very cagey frames, but ultimately Mark Allen has played the better of the two so far. Doesn't feel like there's been 2 tons in this match, but he's a few balls away now from making that a reality. This is what's so impressive about top players in snooker. They can go for long periods of time playing safety, very cagey stuff, and, you know, almost extinguishing any rhythm they might have had, and then all of a sudden, bang, they can just find a gear.
91.
That's one of the hardest things to do in the game. Sit out and be cold for long periods and then come back to the table as if you've been playing all day. This is good stuff from Mark.
96.
And his scoring this season has been good. 34 centuries already. 2 in this match, and now 2 away from being crowned the Riyadh Season Snooker Champion. He leads Luca Bercel 3-1 in a race to 5. So the final began quite slowly, actually. Disjointed exchanges in the opening frame. Mark Allen tried to get the snooker he required. He did get it, but in the end just missed a few too many balls to pull off a great escape. Since then, though, he's been excellent. Breaks of 104, 33, 43, and the best of the lot we've just seen, a run of 109 to go into the interval with a 2-frame advantage over last year's world champion. And these stats tell their own tale. 95% pot success rate for Mark Allen. If he continues in that vein, he will be very tough to stop. It's the interval. Allen in charge.
Three days of short format high jeopardy snooker has resulted in it being the final. 3 very fast days, and it's seen Mark Allen and Luca Brecel do battle after 4 frames. A lot of questions were asked at the start, sportsmanship throughout, frustration etched on a number of moments there, but resulting ultimately in a lead by Mark Allen at the end. Jimmy, after 4 frames, what did we learn from that?
Well, Luca started off very well, 1-0 in front, and Mark Allen seemed to have bossed the safety. in the last 3 frames and created a lot of opportunities, and Luca's missed a couple of long ones. So I think after the mid-session interval, he needs to win the next frame. Going 4-1 down in the best of 9 is hard to come back from there. 3-2 is still in it.
Especially, Ken, given we did see some class from Mark Allen, a nice ton at the end.
Yeah, nice ton. You know, he's scoring well, but he's just dominating, isn't he? The safety battles and the way he's going about, it's a sort of bit of a masterclass, you know, and sort of tactical play and match play. And, yeah, he's dominating all facets of the game so far. He's such a dangerous opponent. When he's playing like that, he's so tough to beat. And Luca, as Jimmy said, Luca's got to come out firing, you know, after the interval. He's got to win a frame in one visit and try and put a little bit more pressure on Mark Allen.
And if he does that, he would ultimately be crowned champion. But the other element of this fantastic tournament is what we call 1-6-7. Every player has an opportunity to not get a maximum break, but potentially to pot the golden ball. And if they do that, earn themselves $1 million. But the nature of where the golden ball is asks another question. How on earth do you do it? So yesterday, Ken and Jimmy went to find out. Welcome to the Ronnie O'Sullivan Academy. It looks awesome, by the way, but the big question we're going to try and answer is all about the golden ball. The question is, how do you approach it? So Ken, straight away, what would be your theory? What would you do?
Well, there are a couple of ways. Obviously, the more conventional way is Jimmy's way, right? But for me, I think if you get a chance to take the golden ball off the cushion, possibly with the yellow, with the rest, you're taking a little bit of a chance, and a chance for position as well. So, well, I would say if you get a chance to take it off the cushion, because it's out in the open then and there's more chance of potting. That would be my theory. And Jimmy doesn't like that.
The problem I've got with that is that if you lose position and you've lost your shot, by going the conventional way, you're guaranteed to have a shot on the green. I get what you're saying, but you've got to have a little bit of luck. But you're one of the most haunted geezers I've ever met. So I don't think there'd be a problem with that one.
Okay, well listen, if for this type of shot, you can play it on the green, but I'm going to play it with the yellow on the rest. I'm going to try and get a little kiss off the golden ball and have a shot on the green, some sort of shot.
It's just a coincidence the cue ball's already there, though.
Yeah.
Go on, guys!
Yeah, but that's what can go wrong. So that's what you're not to do.
Well, you know, as you said, you've got to have a little bit of luck. So we keep having a...
So where do we want the cue ball to finish, roughly?
I really need to be hitting the golden ball on this side. So the cue ball is generally coming off to this side of the table.
To set you up for the green?
Yeah, set you up. Any sort of shot on the green, really. But this is the problem with this type of shot, that you're sort of trusting a little bit of luck, aren't you, Jim?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I get what you're saying. It's just a little bit of a gamble. Now we like that.
Oh, look at that!
Now that is absolutely perfect.
Thank
and
you.
How are you feeling now? You've got £1 million on the line.
Now, the problem is I don't have to use the rest.
That is how you do it.
That is brilliant.
Oh, go on, Ken. That really is how you do it. But Ken, here's a question. Do you almost have to reverse engineer to get to that point on the yellow? So, for example, set yourself up on the black perfectly. It means you've got to be right on the pink and right on the blue before then.
Yeah, I know. Well, you could play it on the yellow or the green, and that was the second take, by the way. It wasn't 22.
It was?
It wasn't 22 takes.
Okay, so... that is one way of doing it. The other way is the way of Jimmy the Whirlwind White. Let's see how he got on. We've seen Ken take on the impossible, and fair play, it was a masterclass. Jimmy, it's now your turn. How are you going to approach the golden ball?
What Ken done there was brilliant. You need a little bit of luck. And, you know, he worked the shot out, it worked out brilliant. I would play it the more conventional way, is what you basically, when you pot the black, you want to be on that top cushion. You want to be as close as the golden ball as you can, but you want to be on the top cushion. You don't want to be playing a thin ball or a distant ball. You want to be as close as you can. So I would play this, hopefully if I've ended up landing there after the pink, just with top spin, natural ball.
And where do you want it to finish, lads?
Yeah,
I just want it. See, that's a little bit heavy, right?
Yeah.
But
you see, really, what you were saying, Jim, you want it like there almost, don't you?
Yeah.
So you just have to gently roll it. You
Yeah.
see, even if you're just off the cushion,
Yeah.
it makes this shot so much harder,
But
doesn't
you
it?
know, you have got.
This
a
is
shot.
a tough shot.
You have got a shot
Oh, go
for
on,
$1
Jim.
million.
Don't worry about the wind.
It's only $1 million. Double or down.
yeah.
But actually, Ken, you said something as we arrived at the table that makes that particularly difficult.
Yeah, Jimmy, because